Hello there. We're going to talk about academics on your study abroad program. You're going to get general elective credit automatically for any class you pass on your study abroad program. What a great situation to be in. All of your classes are going to count toward that 120 hour that you need to graduate, except for things like cooking or gym. So it has to be academic in some way. The grades you earn abroad will appear on your transcript as a letter grade, but they're not going to factor into your GPA. So this gives you a little bit of cushion when you're navigating differences in academics, grading scales, and even studying in another language. Gives you a little bit of cushion there. Keep in mind, though, you pre-med and pre-law students, that some grad schools will recalculate your GPA even if Tulane doesn't factor it in, so it doesn't completely go away for you. You must enroll in a minimum of 12 credits while you're studying abroad, though some programs have higher requirements to be considered a full-time student. We will enroll you in a placeholder course, this REGR 4030. You do not have to enroll in any classes for the semester while you're abroad. So focus on your study abroad schedule instead. Before you leave for your study abroad program, put together a list from your program or host university website about what classes you want to take. This can be a really fun exercise to start envisioning what your life is going to be like, what you're going to be learning, but it's also really important that you get these courses pre-approved if you're seeking specific credit. So in many cases, the final course selection is going to occur on site, so you want to give yourself more options than you need and not to rely on very specific courses in case something happens, a course isn't offered or is full. And remember that add and drop timelines and registration procedures are going to look a little different than the way Tulane does it. Some universities do have online registration for courses. Others may require you to meet with a staff member in person to go through your courses and enroll in all the classes you need. Make sure that you're meeting with the relevant departments to discuss the transfer of credit. Elective credit, like I said, is awarded automatically, but you might be eyeing up that major credit or NTC core credit. We'll help you get there. So, general elective credit, you don't have to do anything. No paperwork needed. You should, though, speak with your major advisor if you want to get major credit. And this should happen before you leave in case they say no. You don't want to be stuck in a situation where you really need that major credit, you're not able to get it. And you want to make sure this happens before you have to commit to your study abroad program. Some departments may have rules about how many or what kind of courses you can take abroad. Electives are generally easiest, but it's always a good idea to check in with your department before you make any commitments. We do have a pre-approved course list here. So you can either type in the pre-approved list on our website or scan this QR code at the bottom of the page. These courses are pre-approved, so you don't have to do any paperwork. They will automatically count toward your major. You can also use this as a resource. If you want to take a class on a program that isn't already approved, you can check out that pre-approved list and see what kinds of classes your department tends to award credit for, and even what level of credit your department tends to award. Often you're getting that 3,000 level credit, but sometimes you can get even higher for certain courses. And you can also get NTC core credit when you bring your syllabi to your academic advisor. They'll be able to assess and help you petition for those attributes, such as aesthetics requirements, textual historical perspectives, maybe even a writing intensive, that they're going to need to see a syllabus first. While you're abroad, you are expected to go to class. Just like at Tulane, professors have the ability to dock your grades after a certain number of unexcused absences, just like at Tulane. Remember that travel plans are not an excused absence, though we do want you to travel and experience things. We don't want it to cost you your grades and credits abroad. We've had students who missed so many classes that even though they were able to turn in their assignments, they weren't able to pass their class. So you don't want to be in that situation. Don't jeopardize your graduation plans. Go to class. You'll also hopefully make really good connections and friends while in class too. Your grades aren't going to show in your transcript. They are going to show in your transcript, even if they're not factoring into your GPA. So just make sure you're doing your best. While you're abroad, you can take a class pass-fail. At Tulane, it's called satisfactory, unsatisfactory. Generally, it's only one class allowed per semester, and it can't count toward your major. But if you're going through a class and you're really struggling and you just want to get that credit, you can email our office, osa@tulane.edu, within 10 weeks of the start date of your program or before 3/4 of your program has passed, whichever one is earlier is the requirement. And we can help you get this to count for pass, fail, satisfactory, unsatisfactory. When you return from your study abroad, changed person, know that your credits and your grades will be posted once we receive your transcripts. You have to complete your program evaluation through Tulane or we will not post your grades. So make sure you get that done. That'll be sent out via email link. It does take a little bit of time, but it is really useful information for us and is really your way to tell us how things went, good or bad, if there's something we need to know. The credits that are posted on your transcript once you complete that evaluation will appear as 5,000 level electives automatically, unless you're trying to get specific major department credit. Then the actual numbers that are associated with the grades with the transcript will change a little bit. So typically that 3,000 to 4,000 is what students are getting abroad. Remember though that the timeline can vary, so it can be up to 4 months after your final grades are put in that we get your transcripts back from your host university. So if you're in your final semester and trying to graduate when you return, be aware that it may impact or delay the issuing of your diploma. You also want to make sure you have syllabi, exams, papers, and reading lists saved somewhere together on your computer. And depending on your host language or your department you're working with back at Tulane, you may be required to translate those materials for them to give you credit for the coursework. Things to think about, all doable. If you have any questions, you can email us or get in contact with your study abroad advisor. As always, appointments are available. We can help you out. Good luck with the rest of the orientation.